So let us start by creating a new file, and the design we are doing is this one. This is what we are doing. It's very simple. Yeah, simple, but I think it's fine. It's good. Yeah, in appearance it's good. And this measures 15.5 centimeters by, usually we measure starting with the width, then ending by the height. So I will say it measures 8.5 centimeters or 85 millimeters by 15.5 centimeters or 155 millimeters. So when we go to our Photoshop, then you create a new file. Let us give it lesson 3 as a title. Lesson 3 example drawing. This is example design. And then you can either use inch if you want. 15.5 centimeters is around 6 point something inch. So let me just convert it to centimeters or millimeters. Let me use millimeters. So the width will be 85 and the height will be 155. I leave the resolution 300 RGB color mode and then create. So this is how our artboard will look like. So what I will do, I will just drag that image and place it there so that we can use it as a reference. So I'll just use it, I will place it there. So from this image, I will use it to get some color codes. I just want to use almost similar color codes. So I will draw a rectangle just to enable us to get the color codes. So I'll draw 2 rectangles here, and then on the color, on the fill, you can remove the stroke. The stroke is the outline of the rectangle, so I can remove the stroke. But now on the fill, I will use when you draw any shape, it comes with this small rectangle here. So that indicates it's a vector image or a vector object. When you double click on that, it will open this color panel, and this color panel now I will just hover over any kind of image to pick colors. So I want to pick this brown color, so it's closer to that. So I will pick that color. You can also copy this code and paste it somewhere. Mostly I use Notepad sometimes, so you can open your Notepad and then just copy this code, because now that's the color code we will be using. Start with the hash, then I want to sample another color, so I will select this another rectangle. As I said, everything is operating in the layers. The other time I drag this layer up to here, but today I can just even use it where it is. But if you want to get more space, maybe you can bring it there, so you have more space to work with. This, when you click on the first tool, which is the move tool, you will see this option called auto select. So what auto select does, it helps you to auto select things on your canvas. So when you check it, and then I click on anything, it will auto select those layers automatically for you. So I want to select this white rectangle, and then I will double click on it, and then I will choose this color.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hash is for what?
Okay. Hash. How can I explain this? So we have color modes. We learned about color modes, and we learned something about RGB. We learned about CMYK. So those are the 2 we learned about. So you find in these colors, there's another form called hex. So a hex is the one that starts with a hash. So if I just come here and search hex codes, hex color codes, they start with a hash. It's like, I don't want to explain the science in it. As I told you, for you to get a color, you need to mix another color. For example, if you mix red and green, you will get another different color. So I don't want to explain the science, but in the simple way, I could just tell you hash is just a one form of a color, which is a hex code. Yeah. Is that okay with you?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So hex is hexadecimal colors. So for example, the RGB of red, it is RGB into 255. So for RGB, they range from 0 to 255. So when R is 255 means R is 100%, red is 100%. So it corresponds with double F. So that's FF0000. Yeah, that's it. But you can research more on those. Yeah. So I had gotten the color of this. I wanted the dark one, the dark color. So let me pick that one. Okay, and paste it here. So we have our colors. So next thing, we need to now look at this design and see what has been done. And now we need to create this curved shape. And this curved shape, you can create it in two ways. One, you can use pen tool. Two, you can use the circular ellipse, the ellipse tool. So those are two ways. It depends on how you want to do it. So I will hide that layer. I will also hide these colors. I can even group them. For example, if you work with so many things and they correspond to same thing, you can group them. So grouping is normally by using Control or Command G. So that's the shortcut. The longer way, I don't know. Layers group, I don't know whether there's something on layers group. So just cram that shortcut, Control or Command. For people using Mac, use Command G. So I will select those two layers, and to select multiple layers you can use Control or Shift. So Control G to group them. So here I will try to draw that shape using a rectangular tool. So I using a pen tool, sorry. So I will go to tools and then choose pen tool. I can go back to my image and see how it looks. So I will get this from here. So I will click the starting point. And when you choose pen tool, one thing you need to note, at the top here, there is this thing, shape path. So ensure it is shape. Yeah, if you choose paths, sometimes you will have problem. So let it be shape. And then I will now click at the start. Then go to the end. When you go to the end, don't release your mouse. Just hold down your mouse, click, and then just drag to form a curve, your desired curve. So I'm assuming this is my desired curve. And then see this line is straight. I want to remove this protruding line. So you hold when you're using pen tool, you hold down Alt and then click at the last point, which is this one. So next, you click on the following corner there, here, and then to the starting point. So your shape is complete. So you can now change the colors. So colors can be, you can change the colors just at the top here. You choose the stroke to be nil and the fill to be one of the colors. So you find in this Photoshop, the moment you choose some colors, it saves them as a recent colors. So because we had already tried selecting these colors, it has saved those colors in recent. So I will pick from them. If you don't find those colors, just double click again on your shape and find your code and paste it here, or double click, and you remember we drew the small rectangles here representing the colors, so they are hidden somewhere. So if I bring them down here, these are the same colors, so you can still double click on your rectangular shape and then pick the colors. I hope that is okay. And there's something I've done. For example, when I was moving this group down, it comes with these adjustable points. So in Photoshop, for you to adjust, unless when you click on Move tool and then you check this box called Show Transform Controls, you will not be able to see this corner, these anchor points. Let me call them anchor points. You will not be able to see these anchor points because by default this option is deselected, so you won't see it. So for you to adjust anything, either an image or text, you need to go to Edit, and then there's something called Free Transform, which is Control T. So mostly you will find when you're doing this, you'll be using Control T a lot. So now you have two shortcuts. The first shortcut was the grouping shortcut, which is Control or Command G. The second shortcut is Free Transform shortcut. This helps you to give you anchor points to adjust, either increase or reduce your objects on the canvas, which is Control T or Command T on a Mac. So having that said, now you know those two shortcuts. So let me hide that group. So I will hide my image. I can now do the Control T again and just adjust it a little bit. So this is how our image looks. So basically you find there's nothing much. The only thing remaining on this, it's this shape here. So this shape also you can achieve it into two ways. I think the easiest is just to draw with a pen tool. Another way is just to draw an ellipse and then overlap. So you could find these shapes, there are two ellipses overlapping each other, or the person just drew with a pen tool. So it's up to you to decide which method is easier for you. So for example, if I choose to use an ellipse, I'll just use an ellipse here, which is a circular shape. Click my layer because I want to write that on top of that layer. For now, I can change to a just ambiguous color first. Undo. So yeah, let me just change the color to something different. So I will draw an ellipse here, any shape, and then I will change to another different color just to help us see the difference between the two shapes. So this ellipse, I can just adjust. Holding down shift helps you to make it not to be proportional or in perspective. Let me just say proportional, because if I don't hold down shift, it reduces like that. But if I hold down shift, it happens to be like this. So I can hover over these anchor points until you bring those double-sided arrows, and then I rotate it a little bit. So I can rotate it like that, maybe up to there. Once I have that, I can still duplicate the same So for you to duplicate layer, just right click, and then this right click doesn't have a duplicate, or it has. So right click, then duplicate. The shortcut is Control or Command J. Control or Command J. But just right click, then duplicate that layer. You can give it the name you want. And then on that layer, I just want to move it. So when I go to this image, I want to enlarge it or to reduce it. What I want to achieve, I just want to achieve this. If we had used a pen tool, it will be even much easier. I want to get this strip. That's what I want. So I will Control T to transform it. And before I Control T, I can give it a different color also. Say green. Right now I'm just giving random colors so that it can give us the difference. So I can do that. You can enlarge it the way you want, maybe like that. Just try. I'm not doing the exact design, but what I'm trying to illustrate is to be creative enough just to do something different. So assuming we leave it at that point, so I will now go back to this layer and then go to our colors. So I can activate my color group again, which is here. So I will click on this green, double click, then choose the lighter color. Go to the next color, double click, choose the dark color. Go to the next shape again, double click, choose the lighter color. So here we are. But you find this one now seems to be so much dark. So you can double click and then try to play around. Say something like that. Then you click OK. So assuming this is what you want to achieve at that point, let us move to the next section. So the next section is below. I can do the below section here. So below section is just a rectangle tool, nothing much, and a font. So before I go to a font, let me hide that layer again. Then
Edwin,
yes.
You can quickly use a pen tool for the shape.
Okay, that's fine. So let me hide this one. So this was the layer I've left. It's the first layer we had. So assuming now we want to draw this shape, I can enlarge this one also. We want to draw this shape using a pen tool. Yeah, so, and I want to draw it on top of this. So I will choose my pen tool. I go to fill, give it a different color first. It picks, so I can create a new layer. But then you can create new layers down here at bottom right. We have so many options. We shall see some of the things we can do with them with time. So on this plus sign, I can just create a new layer there, and then I can give it. Is it a new layer or a new path? I wanted a new layer. Oh, sorry, I'm choosing the wrong side. I meant here. Or under layers panel. So you can create a new layer, so that when I change the background, it won't affect the selected layer. So remove that. So I've chosen golden color. So just checking this, how this has been done, I will click there, then go all the way to the end of this curve here, somewhere here, then I will do like that. Then after this point it comes out a little bit, so it goes somewhere like at the end of this there. And before I do that, I need to press Alt and delete this line, the line that was, how did we call it in mathematics, when you are doing bisecting whatever?
Vector.
I can't remember those things. So let me click somewhere here and then hold down to create another curve, say maybe something closer to that. Yeah. So Alt again, click there, and then this curve comes all the way up to here. So this we shall do something called clipping mask, so that for now I can just even draw it to protrude outside up to there. I remove the anchor point. See it's protruding outside. Then I come outside up to around here, click, then create another curve. I know this one won't be perfect because so I can undo first, then come maybe here, then try. Let me just draw it roughly like that. So what is happening, you see now this shape is coming outside the other shape. So there's one way you can hide this, like it will only appear inside that shape. So when you right click on that layer, there's something what we call clipping mask. So it gets hidden inside that the shape below it. So it gets clipped below the shape. So that's how I have hid it. So when I say release clipping mask, it protrudes. That's the same way approach you use when you want to put an image inside a shape or a circle or any kind of shape. That's the same approach you use. So let me create the mask, and then this shape we can still use the move tool. Is it move or path? One of these tools, just to, I don't know which tool, let me check. On this one, free transform pen. Yeah, you can use this tool to try to adjust your object. I can leave it at that point. Is that okay?
Hi,
Yes,
Edwin.
that's perfect.
I have a concern.
Yes.
I didn't understand how you went about drawing all the way to the left side again. So why didn't we stop on the right side where you are pulling it so that it can create that curve? Why did you have to like come back again on the left side? I didn't get how you got there.
Okay, actually the reason I did that because I didn't want to draw two shapes, because if I had stopped, that means it will have forced me to draw the first one, maybe to reach here and then go back, because I can even start it again, because I chose the pen tool, which is this one. Choose your starting point, and then if I show this image, let me drag it down so that it will be able to, yeah. So if I go to, where's my shape, this one here, then go to pen tool. So this is my starting point, and then because this curve ends at the edge of the first shape, so I just choose the edge, then hold down, and then create something like a curve. And as you see, it continues to protrude outside. But if you don't want to do that, you can decide, when I arrive here, I do Alt click to delete the other protruding line, and then come back here at the start. So start to this end, then go back almost to the start, but now giving the dimension. You see, like there's a distance here, say this distance x, so the height is x. As my height x is here, click and then create another curve like that. So just try to play around with your curve until you see you're forming something almost similar, then up to there. So if I change this color to the golden, so now I've drawn the first shape. So I can now decide I want to draw the other shape, which is this small one. So I can do the same thing, use the pen tool. I want to start from the edge also, from maybe here to the end, and then make a curve, assuming it's like that, and then go back to the end and form another curve, which is almost the same size with the main image, the main shape curve. So you do that. So you find somehow you have the same thing. Now later you can just use the free transform tool or the move tool to adjust this one. Also adjust this using I'm just using the navigation, the arrow buttons on the keyboard to move up and down. And then I will select the two shapes because I want it to be clipped inside this shape, shape 1. So I will select shape 2 and shape 3, right click, then say create clipping mask. Is that okay up to that point?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I was doing the lower part, which is simply a rectangle, nothing much. So let me just go back to my top layer or this shape, and then there I just go to rectangular tool and then just draw that rectangle. This one is curved because the image shows the corners are curved because it's machine cutting. It's not like a design, but it's machine cutting. But just in case you want to create those curves, maybe on a design, so once you draw your shape, and then the moment you are still, the shape tool is still selected, you see these inside anchor points. These anchor points helps you to create a curve. If you just click on one, then you drag inside, it creates a curve. If you double click on one, that means it will create a curve that point alone. So you can double click on this, then hold down shift, you click to another one. So you select 2 and then you drag. Okay, it's not, I want to select 2 points. Is it shift or alt? Control.
Come up again, please.
Okay. So I was saying, when you see this design, I took a photo of a printed image, and this curve was made just by drawing. I mean machine cutting. It was cut by a machine. But if you want to achieve these corners in Photoshop, when you draw your shape, see I drew my rectangle, and then when you select that tool still, don't select the move tool. Those points will disappear. Select that shape, any of the shapes. Let me see if I can select ellipse. Just on those shapes, any of it. We have these inside anchor points. If I zoom in, now I'm using a big screen, maybe let me zoom in for you to see better. So you will see this inside anchor points. So when you click on it, then you drag inside, it forms a curve, and you can see the tooltip. The one in black indicates R is equals to 76 pixels, meaning the radius is 76 pixels. And it's in pixels because I think when I try to right click here, I can. Okay, what I have done, I have placed rulers. I want to change the dimension because by default it's showing dimension in pixels. Maybe you want to indicate in millimeters, maybe to get exact radius. So when you go to view and then rulers, of which the shortcut is Control R. So view rulers or Control R, it show this. I know you have seen this in Word. So this one is help you to draw some lines sometimes. Yeah, just to guide you where you want to place your design. When you right click on that ruler, it gives you these options. Currently pixel is selected. So let me say I want to change to millimeters. So the dimension will be in millimeters. So when I go back to my shape and then inside, now R is 4.7 millimeters. If you want to change maybe for only one point, you double click on that, and then you move inside, then double click on the other one. There's a way you can double click more than one, and then you drag them inside. So that's what I've done. It's only that now this
If you use control, it doesn't work.
Control, it has not worked. But I will research on that and give you the option. For the sake of time, let's just do it like this. Because I don't know why it's not giving me. Let me bring this one here. Then bring this one here. So this one here. Let me try and see whether it will work. So click on this, then control, click on that. Control is not working. Shift I think works. And then it disappears. It's okay. You go and research on that and see how you can select more than two so that you can have a uniform radius for both. So you can do it that way. So the only thing remaining on this is just let me bring this one as a top layer. It's only the image and this font and the text. Yeah. So let me bring in this big image, and then I will show you how to place another image inside this font. So I will go to Google, maybe in Unisplash, and head to unisplash.com. Unisplash is a free copyright free image hosting website, so you can download any image.
It's called what?
Unisplash.com. unsplash.com. So I'm trying to look for an image. If I can't find a good one, let me just choose this one. I think it can work. So you can download from here. You can download original size, medium, but for me I don't want to download. I want to save time, so I want to do copy image. I'll do copy image, then come here and then Control V or edit, paste. Edit, paste not working. Okay, just Control V to paste it. So let us adjust this image to fit our space. So when you do Control T, it gives you these anchor points, and then you can adjust them. There's another shortcut. If you want to adjust from the center, you just press Alt. So when I press Alt, it adjusts from the center. Is that okay? So Alt, then you drag from the center, it fits. So I can fit this one there, but now we have one problem. That image is on top of all layers, so you need to bring it to be behind the shapes we drew. So we just drag, or you can use shortcuts if you want. Control square brackets, the left square bracket to send back, the right square bracket to send to the top. So I'll just move with my mouse and then bring it there. So our image has fit there. But when you look at this at our design, this lady is looking at the right side. So how will you convert the image we inserted here to turn right?
You flip.
Yeah. So we need to flip, and that option is found on edit, then transform, and then you say I want to flip horizontal. So the image flips. So that's how.
Muss ameenda.
Sorry? Okay, so that is it.
You seem to have disappeared at some point.
Me?
I don't know if...
I'm still on. What about now? Oh. Am I still on?
Yes, we can't hear you.
Can't hear me. But I can.
You are breaking at some point, then you pick up well.
Oh, sorry. Maybe it's my internet.
You can start from flipping.
Okay. So let me undo.
We hear you.
That's fine. The image was like this. So I say you go to edit, and then transform, and then flip horizontal, because we want to flip in x-axis horizontal. And make sure you have selected the right image layer. This is the layer you want to flip. So select the right layer, edit, and then transform, flip horizontal. So our image is flipped. So another thing now, let's just write this text. The text that is Jan 2023 vision group, blah blah blah. So I will just click on this last. I can even delete these other layers, they are confusing. Delete. So I will go to my T tool and then click and then type vision. I'm not sure this vision. Let me just type anything, vision 2023. Then move it here. Control T to transform it. Then just adjust it there. Yeah, I want to center it. One way to center it is to select your last layer, then you press Control, click on it, and then you go back to your T, and then at the top here we have these options, because I want to center it. So you can say I want to move it to the right or center. But the one I usually use, I just take the crop tool and then I draw a line at the middle, like that. So when I click on my T and then Control T, I see it's centered. So under properties, there's more options. You can say I want to convert it to uppercase. Yes, so it can be uppercase like that. Control T again, then center it. And then I want to change the color of that text tool, so you can double click. And then you change the color here to white. Or I can just use a shade of white. Then I say I want to make 2023 to be bold. So you change your font maybe to Futura Bold. It's good to have a font that has bold, medium, light. It makes your life easier. Like the one I've chosen is not good one. Yeah. So let it be like that. Then let me just type anything here. I don't know what they wrote on theirs. Vision group, Jan 2023 vision group. So this is too big, reduce the font to around 16. Then just type Even lorem ipsum is okay for me now. Let me leave it there. That is it. Maybe you can add a line. A line, you can just take a rectangle tool and then draw a rectangle with a very thin height. And then give it a color. Up to there, we are okay. So the only thing remaining is now down here. I will skip these ones because it's just the same thing. Text and a small image or an icon. I will now concentrate on this phone. So I will go back to Google and search. Where's my Google? Here. Let me just search phone. You can add PNG maybe to get a transparent phone. So I go to images, and then I see some fonts here. So let me choose this one, but look blurred. Even this. So this is already a PNG. I wanted something that it has a white background. Let me choose this one. So right click, copy, then paste. If you're using a Windows machine, if you do Control C, Control V on an image, if it's a PNG, sometimes it will appear black. So just download. Yeah, so this is our image. What thing we need to do, we need to remove this background. We learned about the different tools to remove backgrounds. So I will try by using magic wand. Click, then press delete to remove the background. So the remaining background, we can use it to create what we call clipping mask. So I will select it, then right click. There's a way called create selection. Create selection is not here. Select. Because what I want to create another shape of this font size, the white space. So what I will do for now, I will just Control C and Control V to make a copy of this. So I will do Control C on my keyboard, then Control V to make a copy. So if I hide the font, I make exact copy of that white space. So I will group those two layers so that they can move together. And in this layer, I want to place an image. So let me just go back here and just look for an image. Say me, I want to place, I can choose this lady, copy, Control V, and then right click, clip mask, then Control T to transform it, like that. So select your group, Control T to move the whole group, then place it there. And this one was in white color. This was white, so I will change the colors to this white. Yeah. Or pure white. No. Let me pick this grayish. And I can just duplicate this layer up to there and give it a different color. Say that one or this one. Lorem ipsum. So basically that's all we can do. So the remaining things just now being creative. You want to add more text. Yeah, it's now up to you. You can even draw a text box. Text box is where you select it and then when you click, you hold down your mouse and then you draw some area. So in that area it will be filled with some text, which is a dummy text. So can make it be like that. Then place it there. Then we change the color to black. So up to there, we're okay now. I think we have done with the design. Yeah.
But I have two concerns. Like, I heard you say that you want to duplicate the phone. Did you do that, and for what reason?
Right. What I want, okay, I want to duplicate the phone. Yeah. So what I wanted to achieve here, if I just go to my phone, I can even rename this thing to phone, that group. So if I go here, this is the phone. Originally it was like this. Originally it is like this. But now I want to place an image, and that image should only take this white space. So assuming this phone was transparent, I will just, assuming if I just use the select the magic wand, then delete, assuming that phone was transparent like that, I will just take this image, even without clipping mask, assuming this image was here, and place it below. Where's my phone? Yeah, place it below there. And then I just do some editing. I take maybe this tool for selecting. Then I just select this phone like this. That's another way you can do, but I find it so much tedious. Yeah, it's more tedious, and then that means you cut your image permanently. You won't have it again. That's why I didn't recommend that method. So if I select, then I go to select inverse. I want to select the outside one. So you see, I get almost the same thing, but the problem of this, your image is cut into pieces. So there's nothing you can do with it. But now the way we had done this one, so this how it has been, because I want to place the image on this. It's not like that. It was like that. In this white space, I will create a copy of that white space. So I use the magic wand. How many times did I undo? I want to return how the phone was originally. I hope it was like this. Yes. So I will use the magic wand tool, and then click on this white space to select it. Click on the white space to select it, and then make a copy of that white space. Exact shape. So I just go to edit, copy, edit, paste. But now I want to paste in place. Paste in place meaning you paste exactly the same place. If I just do paste, it will paste, but sometimes it might paste in a different position. I think in the latest version you can paste in the same place. So once I paste that image, it has taken the exact shape. Then I will now use it to create a clipping mask, so that this photo will take exact shapes. When I click on this photo, I can adjust, I can move it around within, but the outside is bound. The photo does not go outside the phone margins. Yeah. I'm not sure whether I answered your question.
Well understood. Well understood.
All right. I think we
Okay, maybe a final thing. Let's say I want to draw a dotted rectangle. How can I achieve it? Like, I draw a line, another line, another line, like dotted rectangle.
Dotted rectangles. These are,
let me say, dotted shapes.
okay. So this now is stroke. So for example, if I just draw this rectangle here, and say I don't want to have a fill, but I want it to have a stroke. Maybe let me choose a white itaonekana, a white stroke. Then I can make the stroke to be maybe bigger. Say, let me remove that one. Maybe it's too big. Let me reduce it a little bit. Let me say 5 pixels is enough. Then under this option, it gives you. That's what you meant?
Yeah, exactly that.
So it happens on all things. Even if I draw a rectangle, for example, I want to draw another dotted curve around here. So I can just draw another curve like that. See? Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like basically that it was
so
what I wanted.
The only thing you do when you click on your shapes, under the stroke, you choose a dotted stroke.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. I think we can stop there. We have another meeting. Yeah. So I think the class is well understood. I will give an assignment.
Okay.
Yep.
Waiting.